Hello guys, welcome to our very first segment of pod. This is probably gonna be the worst podcast you'll see.
But I feel like the topic's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like the topics are good. We're noobs.
Yeah.
So, just bear with us while we know, because literally setting up took us like almost an hour. So.
Did it really? Oh,
yeah. So we'll try to, we'll learn and grow. Okay, so for today's podcast, first let's get started with our week, like with everything like going on, or like kind of so they can get to know us a little bit more. Oh, so this is my cousin, if y'all don't know.
Wait, are you posting this on like your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Or is it like a separate YouTube channel?
No, I think I'm gonna do it online.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like I need to grow. I can't open a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, until I like grow.
So I mean, you guys have probably already seen me on like.
Yeah, you already know Kelly, unless like you're completely new and just watching this. But yeah. So what are your plans for today? Do you have any plans?
Nothing. I literally do nothing throughout the whole week. I don't do anything. I like just schoolwork, but then I'm like in my room, or I'm just like with my mom or something. But that's pretty much. I'm like a very like a homebody, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm always at home, but
yeah. I feel like I'm a homebody too. Sometimes.
I forgot
what were you saying?
Dude, I literally had
Oh, you were talking about like what you do throughout the week. Oh, you were saying that you're such a homebody.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, I think I'm a homebody too.
I feel like you're. Well, I mean, you have a lot to do. But like, if you did not work and all that stuff, do you still think like you would go out? Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like,
I feel like. I don't know. I feel like I'm a homebody, but I have to go out like at least once a day.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm also like that type of person who can't be out for too long because like I'll want to come home. Like,
yeah.
If it's like if I've been out since 10 a.m. and it's 4 p.m., I'm like done. Yeah, like my social battery is done. But I do like going out. I feel like I don't have anything to do here. Like I could be doing so much.
Especially living here in. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Just like go to the park. That's literally it.
And
or
it's
go
like
get ice cream.
so repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today, what am I doing? So I'm doing this, and then
It's literally like 4 a.m. right now.
So I'm doing this, and then in like a couple of hours, I have a facial because I literally have been struggling with my skin. And I don't know why. I used to have, like, such clear skin, I feel like, I don't know, 4 months ago. And then out of nowhere, I started, like, breaking out really bad. And everybody, even the esthetician, she said it's all hormonal because all right here is supposed, like, hormonal. Like, this area is,
really?
Hormonal.
The cheeks?
Yeah. So, whatchamacallit? So my forehead, usually like if you have acne on your forehead, it may be caused like if you haven't showered your hair. Like I go days without showering my hair because it's bad for you to shower your hair every single day, like it dries it out. So like I try to go days, but then when you put like product, oils, hairspray on your hair, then like it all like eventually comes back to your hairline, and that's why like you break out.
Dude, do you remember how you told me that you don't remember how my skin used to look like, but my skin, like my forehead was so bad. It was so bumpy.
Yeah.
It was really bad. I mean, right now it's still kind of, but it wasn't as bad. Like bumps, like it was so bad. It looked like the back of a
chocolate bar.
Like a chocolate bar, like a crunchy chocolate bar. It was so bad.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like people don't realize, like they're like, oh well, you barely have anything, but it's like when you go from having clear skin to like even like 2 pimples, it actually like takes a toll on you, like because in your mind it's like, oh my gosh, like that's all people can see, like it really does take a toll on you. People don't like realize the toll it takes on you, but it's like it's bad. But no matter how little or like much acne someone has, like I promise you it affects their self-esteem, But
because they'll like think it's like the biggest pimple
I know when
ever.
it's not, and like I bet you people can't even like see it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just like so obsessed. I feel like our generation is so obsessed with clear skin.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are literally obsessed with having clear skin, and why? Because of social media.
Yeah.
Because that's all you see on social media. It's like people with clear skin, like, oh, how I get clear skin. This is how to get clear skin. Promoting some product that doesn't even give you clear skin, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of.
I used to try so many products,
and that's like that makes it even worse.
Like you'll see the before and after,
yeah, and it's like, oh my gosh,
and then it never, or it makes you like break out even
more.
It's so
or
bad.
like dries out your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I'm starting to go with her, and I'm gonna see. You know,
do you think she's helped? Like,
I feel like she has. I feel like she gave me this like specific name brand exfoliator. I can't think of it on the top of my head, but it I can tell, like, first of all, the thing I was doing wrong, like, just to start off with, do you use cleanser? Like, do you cleanse your face every day? Oh.
Like, I mean, I'll just like put water or something.
Yeah. But then you don't wear like products throughout the day. Do you like makeup? And, yeah. So I do. So obviously, like, that's gonna like clog up my pores and stuff. So basically, what I have to do is like cleanse my face with a cleanser. So I use La Roche-Posay cleanser. Yeah. So I use that hydrating cleanser because I feel like my skin is super dry. And then what you're supposed to do that I wasn't doing was double cleanse. So you cleanse once and then you have to cleanse again.
Really?
Because the second cleanse is what supposedly like actually takes everything out of your face. And she's like, yeah, I mean, that's your first thing that you need to change. I was like, okay, well, that explains a lot. And also I wasn't like using a like exfoliating scrub. And my nose, it's like super congested with like black pores. So
like you can feel it.
Yeah. So I use that, and that like the next day my nose is like smooth.
Yeah.
So like you can tell the difference, but you can't use like any exfoliator, you know, because I've tried other scrubs, and the first time I ever dealt with acne was like in high school, I think, and it was right after using that scrub because sometimes they cause more acne just so like you get rid of or use the product more. You know, that's usually like drugstore products that you'll find bad products in. But anyway, moving on. So we're gonna be talking about growing up Hispanic. So I bet a lot of you guys, if you're Hispanic, you can relate. If not, then you're gonna get a little glimpse of how it is to grow Hispanic. And obviously, this doesn't apply to like absolutely everybody. There's more juice in the too.
Yeah.
But
I spilled. I spilled all my juice.
She spilled her juice. It was funny. But anyway, obviously, it's not like the same experience for everybody. Everybody has different parents. But I feel like me and Kelly were like, I was like, who could I bring on here to like talk about this with? And I'm like, bro, literally me and Kelly grew up. I feel like till this day we have like very similar family stuff. Our parents parent the same way, I feel like. So I think it's like for us this is how it was. Maybe for y'all it's different. Maybe you're lucky. I don't know. But so what were your rules, or what are your rules on going out? So for the for reference, I'm 19.
Yeah, me too. I'm turning 20.
She's about to turn 20.
In like a few
You're
months.
20. But yeah, so what are your rules on going out? And we both still live at our parents' house, so obviously we're gonna respect all these rules because, you know, they pay the bills and everything. So we're not gonna like go out there and
and just like leave when we want to. But on going out, you said? Okay, so I still have a curfew. And it's at 10. Like, I have to be home by 10. So, like, I would literally have to leave, like, before, like 9. I would have to leave at 9 so I can be home, like, at 10. Because my parents are, I wouldn't say very strict, but they don't really like me going out late. Or, like, coming home late, I guess. And I think it has to do with like being a girl. they also don't like me driving far. Like, they'll always, like...
Yeah.
You know, like, Lucy usually is always the one to drive, or, like, our other friend. But, yeah. I have to think about more, but...
Yeah. I also still have a curfew. My sister just 1 hour after Kelly.
Yeah.
Mine's at 11. So I'm, like, the same way. Okay. Anyway. I thought my mic shut off, but anyway. So mine's at 11, and I'm the same way. Like, if I'm not home by 11, there's a issue. There's gonna be an issue. So one time I was a couple minutes late, and I didn't answer the phone, and she knows about this. And it was really bad. Like, my mom, like, would not leave that topic for, like, days. And I think the reason behind that is because my mom's friend has a daughter who basically, like, took advantage of that, and she literally would just leave and come back whenever she felt like. So I think my mom is, like, really strict on that, because if she knows I abuse that, then she knows it's going to become a habit, and I'm not going to take her as seriously. So she made it she made that firm, you know? Like, she was like, okay, like, you can't do that. So, yeah. And if I'm, like, running behind or have to stop by somewhere, like, I just can, like, send her a text. But I think at the end of the day, it's literally just them looking out for us. Especially, like, Friday nights. And they always say, like, we'll never understand until, like, we have kids. And I feel like me having Nico, my cat, he really will run away sometimes. And I literally can't sleep good whenever he's outside, because I'm like, what if he gets, like, run over or something? That's, like, imagine with, like, a child, like you don't know.
That one time he was literally under the house.
I know, like, what the heck?
I was like, oh my gosh.
And a kid, you don't know where your kid's at in the car, especially during a weekend. There's so many times where someone has passed away from another driver driving under some type of influence. So it's just scary, because, you know, you could be going good, you could be driving good, and then someone can just... Yeah. And
my mom always tells me that.
Yeah,
She's
that's what my mom tells me.
You could be driving good, but there's always this crazy person. But I feel like it all goes back to us being girls too. Yeah, that too. Because I feel like with my brother, they're kind of more lenient on him. Yeah. And then with me, they're like, you should, like, if I go to Walmart, like, let's say, like, late, or they need me to go do something, they'll be like, take your brother. Yeah. But, like, when they ask him to do it, he can just go by himself. Yeah. It's just like, and I'm older. Also, I'm older than him, so it's just weird.
I feel like at the same time, it's, like, fun, or not fun, but I feel like it's good that you do have a brother. Because, I mean, it is true. It's, like, scary. Yeah, it's scary. But also, like, you can go out, you know? It's just, like, you'll just take him with you, and he's usually, like, he's cool. It's not like he's gonna snitch on you or something.
Just kidding.
But, I can't do that, because mine's, like, 8 or 9. Yeah, so I can't really... You know, I don't have that option. But, it's whatever.
It also with, like, the people you go... Like, my parents are always who are you going with? Like...
They'll be like, who are you going with? Where are you going with? What time are you leaving? What time are you coming back? Whose car? Who's driving? All that.
Like, my mom will be texting me when I don't know if I've, like, ever told you this, but my mom will usually, like, text me when I'm out, and she'll be like, are you okay? And then she'll be asking me, like, what am I doing? And I'm just
my mom will just be like, where are you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, like...
Even though I told him.
Yeah. And she knows it's with you. Like, I hang out with Lucy, like, I think you're the only person I really, like, hang out with. And they know, like, you won't do anything. Yeah. They know, they trust her. Yeah. Yeah. You're, like, adopted to the family.
Yeah. And my mom, like, every single time we go out somewhere, she's like, why don't you bring Kelly? Like, why doesn't Kelly come? Like, it's always Kelly, you know? Because she also, like, and I mean, like, my mom even, like, has bragged about you. I don't know, to, like, to some people that we know, like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, she's always with Kelly. She's like, yeah, she's a really, like, good, she's a really good person. She's a really good friend and, like, influence and stuff. So, yeah, that's good. It's always good to, like, have someone that your parents trust as much as they trust you, because they'll trust you both more out together or whatever, and it's more fun. So I know you're not the oldest in your family, but I bet, like, you still had to do a lot of things, especially after your sister moved out. That was basically like taking over the older sister role. So how was it like growing up as that? For the like few years that you were like technically the oldest
when my sister moved out?
Yeah,
well, I learned how to drive like really late. Like I started to drive literally when I got into college.
Yeah, which was last year?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I really like couldn't do anything. Like older sister like run errands.
Yeah.
So that role went to my brother.
Which is her brother is just 1 year younger than us.
He's a few months younger than us. Yeah.
Actually, we were born the same year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But y'all are like,
we're only a couple months apart.
Wait.
I'm just literally like
3 months.
That's
actually weird.
Wait, I'm closer in age to your brother than you. Ew.
That's so weird. Anyway. Oh my gosh, that's so weird.
How did we just now realize?
What was I saying?
Oh.
That's so weird.
Ew.
I never realized that.
But that, you were saying how he took that role because he.
Oh yeah, because my brother learned how to drive at like 15. He was already driving at 14. I don't know. And I was always like really scared. So and plus he's like the only boy too. So my dad always like
was like closer to him because
mm-hmm.
I feel like guys are
relies
just like
more on him.
Yeah.
So my brother always did errands. So I feel like he was like the older sister, like older sibling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like now though it's sort of like equal now.
Yeah.
Now that I know how to drive, they'll tell me like go here, go there, go there.
Yeah. I feel like it would definitely be different if y'all guys were farther in age. You know? Y'all guys are so close in age that it's like, you know, nobody really, the role is usually equal.
But honestly, I don't really know what the older like sibling role is.
So I think what it is how
I only think it's like just errands. That's what I think an older sibling.
So a lot of times what I hear,
mm-hmm.
which I feel like it's eventually I'm gonna relate to it, is how the oldest like person always goes through the most.
Mm-hmm.
So like when it comes to curfews, when it comes to going out, they will always have that so strict on them.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they get to the youngest kid, which would be my brother, they're just able to do literally like whatever and everything you couldn't do. And it's because, well, a lot of people say it's just like your parents are almost like done parenting, like they just kind of like are like whatever. I guess it just depends on how many siblings are in the family too.
But I also feel like it's because you're like the first kid that they've had, like
right. So they're like overprotective too.
And then they see how like you turn out, I guess.
And
they'll be like, eh.
Yeah, go ahead. But then if you turn out bad, then maybe they'll like continue that parenting or even have you, or be more stricter on the younger kid. But yeah, I feel like my brother is probably gonna have it easier than I did, especially because he's a guy. You know, like once my brother's 9, so like once he grows, like I don't know. Especially having me, like I'll probably be able to take him more places than like, my mom would have let him.
That's so cute.
I know. I'm like excited for it, but at the same time, I'm like dreading. Like
because I feel like
up.
also when you grow up with like younger siblings, at first you do not get along, but then when they get like mature enough to like
actually
not fight with you for everything, you can get along with them. That's what happened to me and my sister. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was the first daughter from my parents. Well, I have an older sister, but she never lived with my dad. So I mean, I guess I'm technically like almost his first like raised daughter, and then I'm my mom's first daughter. So both of my parents can't speak, well, at that time they didn't speak English at all. You know, they couldn't read, they couldn't write, they couldn't speak English. My mom still kind of is like the same, but my dad, he's now like his own, he's like the same position your dad is, I think. Their own signing company or whatever. They have to be able to talk to like their contractors and all that. So obviously like he literally learned English. I don't know how, but he literally just speaks English. He understands English. He just has like trouble reading and writing for the most part. But growing up, I had to do all of that. I had to like speak any place we would go. If it were like McDonald's or even like an emergency room, I would have to like translate everything as a like 5-year-old, 4-year-old. Like the second I started, you know, speaking English. And that's another thing too. Like people always come at me. Sorry, like we're going to a whole different topic.
You literally told me, yeah, we're.
That's one thing too from this podcast, that I'm gonna like go into like 20 different topics because I cannot stay on one. People always come at me either on my live streams or on my YouTube videos. They're like, you cannot speak good English. Like your grammar and vocabulary is like so limited. Because I say like and literally a lot. Like those are my go-to
I wonder
words.
If we've already said like.
I bet we have. Like I say like so much because my vocabulary is limited. Like. English is my second language, and Spanish was my first language. But then I can't speak Spanish good either anymore because, you know, you're like, I just had turned 4 years old when I started preschool. Because my birthday was in July, so technically I was like 3 almost. Yeah. You know, I was 3, and then next month I turned 4, and then I start school. Yeah. So when I started school, you think I didn't know English? All I would understand was Spanish. Like that's all I would hear at the house. You know, my parents didn't know English, so where would I hear English from? But I remember my mom would like put Dora on and all the shows, so like I would start like being familiar with certain words. But you know, like I feel like that's such a like huge thing that people like miss. It's like, bro, you were literally a child and you were like put into some random school without people you knew, without, you know, like not knowing what they were saying, and you literally learned that.
Do you remember that, like not knowing how to speak? You don't remember? I don't think, because I'm this middle child, so my older sister had to go through all that. She had like didn't know any English, so I feel like
once she started, I feel like my brother speaks better English than I did at his age because of me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think since my sister would like talk to me in English, so like I learned English, you know, so I didn't have to go through that. That's what I'm saying. I feel like
it's different.
There's different rules.
No, but so it's like obviously I'm not gonna know English that good or Spanish that good, but I feel like we do speak like okay, you know, both languages. It's just like obviously we're not gonna have such a big vocabulary as anybody else would because literally we're not from here.
I was gonna ask you, so like, do you know if you would ask your parents, or you would like need your parents' help for homework and they couldn't help you because you didn't really know? You know how like kids will ask their parents like, can you help me with math homework? Would you ask your parents like to help? Because I remember my sister would ask
my mom. I think I would ask my mom, but my dad, no. My dad, I think he just went to elementary school and then he started working right after. But then my mom, I mean, there's to a certain grade was when she was able to help me. But after certain grades, like, I don't know. But she would help me. Like, for the spelling tests, she would test me. Like, she would test me, like, she would be like, okay, how do you spell this? And then, like, I would have to repeat the letters to her and everything. And it'd be funny because, like, she couldn't even pronounce the words. Yeah. And I'd be like, Mom, I don't know what you're reading right now. Like, how am I supposed to spell if I don't know what you're saying? But, yeah, that was it was a struggle having to translate. Because, like, you would go to McDonald's and especially, like, if you had guests over and you would have to order their meals, too. Until this day, I still have to order. Yeah. Unless there's, like, a menu, they'll just be like, you know. They'll like point, but usually like I feel like a lot of it is that they're scared of being embarrassed of having that accent and not being able to speak good, but they can do it because I've seen them do it. It's just they're scared, so they just rather depend on you. Also, I feel like I wonder like if it was weird for like the other like the workers when they saw like a little kid ordering for like their parents. When I used to, I'm not gonna say where I used to work, but when I used to work at a drive-thru, there would be little kids like ordering, and it just felt like there was this one little girl, and it literally just felt like I was seeing myself 10 years ago ordering, you know, for everybody in the car. And it's like it's so wholesome, but then it's like it's so really sad. It's like heartbreaking. Cause like little kids also like really don't. You're almost like forced to grow up faster. It seems like so small, but you're literally you're forced to grow up faster than like. because all these parents order for their kids, and it's like you're ordering for your parents.
Like, especially like at doctor's appointments, like
That
I would be
too.
the one that would be like talking to the. It's like, you know how you're like the doctor. Like,
And they-
I'm saying, like, you know how the doctor's supposed to be telling your parents, like,
Yeah,
how you're
they
doing,
tell
but
you.
that.
And
Yeah.
you tell your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, most of the time, you don't even know what the heck
Yeah.
the doctor was talking about. I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, it is a struggle that
always
I feel like people don't really talk about it, but it's
Yeah.
like they know. Like, everybody knows if you're in this position. Yeah, also, did you ever feel like you had to, like, raise your brother in a way? I feel like because you guys are close in age, it's like, your sister might feel that way.
Yeah, because my sister would take care of us when my
Yeah.
parents were working. When they had to work,
Yeah.
my sister would be the one taking care. And, like, I don't know if your brother will feel the same way, but I'm, like, really grateful for my sister. 'Cause
Yeah.
she, like, took care of me and my brothers. Me and my brother. So, me and my brother. She cooked for us. She did everything for us. And I'm, like, she's, like, a second mom, you know?
Yeah.
Even till this day, she's, like a motherly figure
Yeah.
to me and my brother.
I feel like he will feel that way. I think he already
Hopefully
does.
he does, 'cause I
I
feel
think he
like
does,
that's-
because, well, when I was, when he was growing up, almost his entire childhood, you know, it was just my mom and me.
Yeah.
So I was like, almost like his dad figure, his second mom, even though he has a dad and he goes with his dad, but he also goes with his stepmom. But, I feel like I was there, you know, like every single time. So I don't know if you remember how he would get sick, like all the time.
Yeah, I remember
We would be
that.
at the hospital, especially during winter time.
Mhm.
We would be at the hospital like at least once a month, almost
Yeah.
like every week. Cause this dude, he freaking had bronchitis, he had pneumonia,
I remember
he
that.
had meningitis. He would have ear infection after ear infection after ear infection.
Yeah.
So like we would always be at the hospital, and we would have to go at like 3 a.m. And at this time I was probably like 12. I wasn't that young. But who would have to translate me? Who would have to go to the hospital that night and then go to school the next morning at like 3 a.m.? Me, you know, like, and my mom, like, she's very appreciative of that. Like, she tells me, like, Lucy, like, you had such a big part in your brother's life. And like, I to this day, like, I take my brother to school, you know, like, he's 9. I have to do like all those little things. Take care of him when my mom worked. Like, tomorrow, actually, I'm taking care of him all day. So it's like, you know, you have, and I feel like I'm grateful now because I have a job, you know, like I can work. And my mom, obviously, as a single mom, what type of money? You're not gonna have any money as a single mom. Like, all you have money is for your bills. Like, we don't have any money for any of that extra stuff. So growing up, I wanted all these things. I never got them, but what you call it? So my brother, on the other hand, I bought him, like, we bought him that North Face backpack the other day at the mall. Like, I got him that backpack. I took him back to school shopping for clothes, just clothes, like, not even like the supplies. So it's like he's getting those little perks, which I hope he realizes, like, the value of that I didn't even get to get because I didn't have that person to, you know, buy that stuff for me. Or have those perks, or like I had to ride the bus. Like, I didn't. He's never ridden the bus, guys. Like, I had to ride the bus because my parents would leave so early, and they would get like neighbors to, like, they would drop me off at the neighbor's house like at 5 a.m. before they left to work, and then my neighbor would like take me to the bus stop. I think there was even a time where like your mom took me to school or the bus stop or something like that. But either way, like, the second I became a car rider, it wasn't from my parents. It was from carpooling with some other parents. It was never my parents, unless it was an afternoon. Sometimes my mom, or if it rained, my dad would take me to school in the mornings. But my brother never has to deal with that because he has me, and he has like his stepmom, his dad, my mom. So now he can, like, either one of us will, like, my mom always picks him up every single day, and then I'll alternate in the mornings, dropping him off with his dad. But you know, that's something that he won't have to struggle with, was riding the bus and standing outside in the rain, cold, whatever.
Oh my!
That was a struggle. Dude. That's another overlooked struggle. Like, just standing there.
And like walking from and then to, like, from
the
your
stop,
house and then
the
back.
bus stop.
It was...
And you had a long walk.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have as much of a walk as you did. I had a long walk.
But
I mean, you
sometimes
had a
my
long walk.
mom would like pick us up, you know, from the bus stop.
From the bus stop, yeah.
Or my sister, she would take us to school, or she would pick us up from the bus stop. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really like. I never
The oldest sibling.
Yeah, I never picked up or like had to raise my like brother, because I mean we're literally a few months apart.
Yeah.
But my sister had to do that for us, I think, because my parents were so busy.
Which, yeah, so if you have an older sister and
or an older brother, you should be grateful.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys thought of like small things that they've done that you didn't even notice they did. So even like buying him food like whenever he wants, or buying him like something from the gas station, like that's something that we didn't, or I didn't get the, you know, the chance to
They'd
get.
be like, there's food at home.
There's pizza at home.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like now, like he'll be like, can we go to Chick-fil-A? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I want some too. And you know, growing up, like we just didn't have the resources to just like get whatever we want, you know. And now he can, even at the book fair. Oh my gosh, the book fair.
My God.
I remember
I would bring like quarters.
I would bring. They don't let that slide. They don't let them do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they don't, because I guess so much people would do it. But we would bring plastic bags and fill them up with like the piggy bank.
Yeah, and literally all that would be enough all that would be enough
was like the little
like the pencils or erasers
and stuff. That's all like I really wanted, so it's like whatever.
And like, you know, the magazines they would give us.
Oh yeah.
I would always like highlight
circle
the
what
ones.
you want.
Yeah.
Well, I think they made us like circle what we wanted off of the magazine because they wanted to sell. But I feel like that was super inconsiderate. I think it still is kind of inconsiderate.
They still
like,
do that?
Yeah, they still do the book fair.
No, they still make you like circle.
I think so, because my brother always comes home with it circled, and it's like, what if like someone can't afford that, like, and you go to book fair, you have to go with your class.
Yeah.
But whatchamacallit? Oh.
Also, I feel like when you're young, you don't really understand that sometimes your parents can't afford.
Yeah. Yeah, but
things.
why?
Yeah,
but why?
I'm not gonna lie. I used to like get mad sometimes.
I would like cry.
Because like over the book fair, I would see like people get remember the posters and the books.
I still have some probably somewhere.
Yeah, and I would be like,
why can I get that?
Yeah, but now I understand. Like, my parents had 3 kids and they couldn't really afford that. So.
Yeah.
Like, kids are like, I feel like schools should not be like that. Like, they should
at least make everything. Don't sell stuff that are too expensive.
Dude, like,
I know you're trying to make business, but at a public school especially, you know, you're dealing with all types of people. You know, and some kids are even homeless.
Or like the only food they get is at school.
Right.
That's really sad.
That is really sad.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, are you supposed to, or in high school, I don't know if they still do this, like, don't you need to pay to eat breakfast or something like that? You would have to pay to eat, like, breakfast or lunch.
I think it depended on your, like, lunch status, because remember?
That's, like, crazy.
I don't know. I think you had to apply for, like, discounted or free lunch or whatever. Yeah. But, yeah, he gets... Anyway, back to the book fair. Yeah, he gets dollar bills, okay? He gets $10 bills to go to the book fair. He got $40 worth of books the other day at the book fair.
Really?
And that, I bet you, in my entire kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 4th grade, all of that, I probably didn't even waste $40 in there in all those grades, and he did, you know, because we're in such a different position that we were in while I was growing up versus him. Which is crazy. And, you know, it's almost like I'm glad that he doesn't have to go through what, you know, I had to go through. But I hope he is very appreciative of that. Because I would be, you know. But I wouldn't know that I would have to be appreciative of that. Because if I haven't told him this story, then he wouldn't know, you know, like, that. He'd just think, like, oh, it's just, But anyway, I feel like that's why it's good, like, to always tell... or share your story, because, you know, what if there's, like, a little kid watching us right now? Yeah. And they're like, oh, I should appreciate the $5 my mom gave me for the book fair, you know? So appreciate your mommy's money.
Mm-hmm.
So we're both in college. So first generation, right? College student, basically. Yeah. So what's it like? Because both of our parents didn't go to college.
Yeah, my mom, I think both my parents only went
to elementary school.
Because I feel like in where my parents are from, it's different. Like the schooling, like grades.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's confusing, I heard my mom like only went to like 3rd grade. But anyway, a lot of pressure. I feel like a lot of pressure, to get a good like job from like going to college. You know. I don't know what to say about this. Like, I don't know what.
I feel like also it's just like not even knowing what to do or how to even like enroll into college. Just small things that are like, oh yeah, I can help you out, son. I can help you do this, and it's like we don't get that, you know.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't even know how to use a computer. She barely knows how to use her phone. Like, what would they know about college? Or again, speak English and everything's in English. Even filling out FAFSA. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes I'll have to ask Lucy for.
But I would have to figure that out, and it's just literally just trial and error that, you know, I spent so much time trying to do things that I could have done in 5 minutes. You know, if I wouldn't have been the first generation. So, yeah, I feel like I did help out like a lot of people because I remember like a lot of people would ask me like, do you know this?
Because it's so confusing. I feel like college should do like a better job on like guiding you on like what to
even
do.
In high school, like I feel like they should like they'll just be like, oh, you have to do this, but it's like, can you tell me what that is? Because I don't want to like apply for something or do something that like I don't even know what I'm applying for.
I feel like high school also gives you like really like false information.
Like they misguide you.
I remember I was like, I'm gonna go to Charleston or I'm gonna go to USC.
Clinton.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna go there. Like, I can't wait to move away from like my house. Like, I feel like you have to have a lot of money or like a full like scholarship, because it's expensive.
If you are a first generation student, you might not know that, you know, and you might just take out a whole bunch of student loans, and then with all the interest rate, you're going to be so do a lot of research if you're a first generation student. And also another thing that I freaking regret that I didn't do was take AP classes during high school. I took AP classes. I think you took IB. If I would have taken dual credit, I could have like saved so much money, so much time, so much effort.
If someone would have told me like, you can take this so you can be ahead and stuff.
Yeah, but I wish someone would have like guided me and told me that take dual credit classes. Don't take all these unnecessary AP advanced just because you want to look smart classes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that's like.
Also, I feel like people like. I keep on saying like, oh my god. I feel like.
This is gonna be a hard watch.
I feel like people hate on community college. Yeah, and
community college is the smartest thing you could do.
It's in my opinion, I feel like if you want to go to,
you can transfer over to whatever university you want.
Yeah. But I feel like
in your like degree isn't gonna say, oh, you went to community college for so XYZ amount of years, you know, and you graduated, you transferred. No, it's just gonna say whatever from Clemson University or whatever. Which is, you're gonna save, y'all don't know how much money you're gonna save, okay? Like 2 years versus 4 years is crazy. If you could do like all 3 years at community college, go for it, and then just do that last year at a university.
The dorms, you have to pay for the dorms, food. If you have a car, gas. Like if you need a
parking
spot. All that stuff. Books, unless that's like covered with your
like your tuition. I don't think so. I guess it just depends on each school. But yeah, literally, no thank you. That's like, I feel like even if I would have applied for those places, I would have survived like the semester, and then I would have been like, I don't got money.
Because I feel
I don't want to put my parents through that either.
Yeah, that's a lot. Community college is also very like free. Like you don't have to go to class every day. Like you can skip like a day or two.
Yeah, you can skip. I think as long as you don't skip 14 days consecutively.
Yeah.
Calendar days that includes weekends.
Mm-hmm.
But whatchamacallit? Yeah, like I don't know. I think it's just different in universities. I think it's much more of a community rather than community college.
Mm-hmm.
I think community college we just all just go do our thing and then we leave, which is good. You know,
I
like
feel
you
like
avoid
that's
drama,
better.
you
Yeah,
avoid
I feel
so
like
many
that's
things
better.
that you would not have to deal with, or you would deal with at a university, like sororities, fraternities, and all that. Yeah. So I literally just thought of this. I don't even know if this even has to like deal with this, but it just crossed my mind while I was working. So I was like, I need to talk about this. So I just added it onto the list. So we were talking about. So my boss's daughter, she goes to a private school. They pay $14,000. No, they pay $14,000 a year for her to go there. So it's like a college tuition because it's a really big school. Like the biggest news anchor. She's in 4th grade. Yeah. But she's getting moved out because she does not belong there. She's too humble to go there. So they're switching her out finally. But her older son went there, so that's why like she went there.
Yeah, okay.
But whatchamacallit? So she was saying that this girl in 4th grade, you guys, brought in a Louis Vuitton bag. Yeah. And she was like telling them how much it was, all of this stuff, and then she was like, Mom, this girl brought in a Louis Vuitton bag. And then my boss was like, I didn't get my first Louis Vuitton until I was like 50 years old. So a lot of people have like a misconception that like, you know, a lot of people tend to like, especially if like you're on social media, you tend to show off your brand stuff, like your Louis Vuitton things, even like just stuff like that. But it's like some people might take that as like, oh my gosh, you're such a show off, like you're so creído because you're showing off. But then like I thought about it, because whenever I got my phone, my first iPhone X, I think, and whenever I got my MacBook, I was so, because I bought it, you know, that's the year I was like 14, 15. That was when I first got my first job. Like that was the first time I was able to get something that expensive, because my parents, I mean, there was no way of getting something that expensive. My parents didn't even have, you know, those types of things. I don't think my mom even had or my parents didn't even have iPhones at that time. So it was like, oh my gosh, Lucy, like you just got an iPhone, like you just got a MacBook, like you did that. So it's like, I think I even posted like my MacBook or maybe my iPhone, like I would take a selfie so everybody can see I have an iPhone. And some people might have thought like, oh my gosh, she's so creída, but it's like,
my toe.
in my like mind, in my heart, I'm like, dude, I worked so hard for this. Like, and I honestly needed things for school. So it's like, in my mind, it's like, I'm not being creída right now, you know. I'm literally like, I work XYZ amount of hours to get these things that I never have been able to get. So, you know, it's like two different perspectives.
I feel like also, I think it has to deal with how you, like,
grew up.
No, how you, show off, I guess.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
if you are saying, like, oh, like, look, you can't get this, or if you do it all the time. But if you, like, if you just post it, like, once, you're like, oh, look, you know. But then also, I feel like I would understand, like, because I know you, and I know you wouldn't post just to show off, but I feel like if other people don't know. It was like a proud moment,
Even with, like, getting into school, I think I would post that, like, all the acceptance letters. Because it was such a proud moment, especially, like, for us, that, like, our parents literally didn't go. And when I saw I got, like, accepted to these, like, I got accepted to, what was that one school from North Carolina? I forgot what it was called, but anyways, it was such a big school that, like, I think it was, like, they had a shooting there, like, a couple years ago, like, 2019, I think they had a shooting there. That's how big of a school it was, you know. It was a big school. I was like, obviously I'm gonna post. It was High Point University.
I don't remember that, but
yeah. So I got into like, and then I got in Furman, like freaking Furman. Nobody gets into
crazy,
that.
Yeah.
So I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna post that. Like, you know, like my parents literally didn't go to college, bro, and they're almost like living. I feel like they're living through me.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not only like my proud moment, but it's their proud moment.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm doing this for them, representing them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like there's different ways of like showing off, or just being proud of yourself. You know, as you should.
But I feel like if people know you, they'll know that you're not like...
Exactly. Like, that's another point I was gonna get. Like, don't judge someone if they're posting something. If they post a new car, obviously, like, they're proud of that. They worked for that. You know, there's a difference. Your toe. There's a difference in between posting something your parents, like, just give to you because you're, like, filthy rich versus, posting something that you worked for.
Well, honestly, if I was rich, too, I would show it off.
Really?
Yeah, I would be like, look. I'm just kidding. No.
Y'all are broke.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe if one day we become rich and we get...
We'll see.
If we have... Or if I have
We'll
kids.
see where our mindset's set then. But it's like right now, I can't really even speak on like rich people posting stuff because I'm not in that position.
But also, like, even if I do become rich one day, I can't see myself, like, showing off.
I can't see myself buying luxury like bags. I would give myself a rule like to buy one maybe, just because like, you know, you're proud of yourself, you deserve it, treat yourself moment. And then I would like be like, okay, you can't buy one until like 5 years go by, you know, like I'm not gonna waste my money on that when I can like pay off someone's like loans or my parents like house debt, you know, their mortgage or car or something, you know, because if you have that type of money, you know how many people like you can help. But I'm not there, so. But maybe one day.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah. That's what I think. I just felt like we need to talk about it because I was like, you know what? Like, I think people do have that right to show off. Like, Wilito, like, Meche, like, all of them. Like, yeah, you might be like, oh, their job is so easy. Like, they just be posting stuff. But it's like, I don't think it's that easy because, you know, at the beginning, they were still in school, you know? They might still even be
I know Meche graduated.
Oh, she graduated. Oh, yeah, she did say she graduated.
At 16, which is crazy.
But I bet she still, like, would post to grow somewhat at 16. And I think she graduated early because of social media, wasn't it? Is what she said?
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
Anyway. And Wilito, too, I think he was still in high school. Like, these people were doing school... and like posting on social media at the same time. Even some of them might have had jobs. Yeah, like Natalie too. Like she did school.
Dude, she's doing so good. Like,
she's like up there. She's such a like inspiration. I think she realizes it. But it's like it's not that easy because like, you know, me, I have school, I have work, and then I have to post, you know. So it's like, yeah, at that point when you watch them and when you actually know their name, they're gonna be like up there. They're obviously, it's gonna be easier for them. But you don't see that very beginning where they were struggling, where they were like, you know, trying to find time for themselves, trying to find time for like school, homework, for work, you know, or those times where they were like super tired at night and like they had to edit and post for you guys, or else you're not gonna see progress if you don't post. So it's like, at that time, like, they're not necessarily working for it as much as they were working for it at the beginning. The light just shut off. But at the beginning of their career, but they did work for it at one point, and you don't realize that. So, you know, they have the right to show off that car as much as they want. I would show off my Tesla too. But anyway, I feel like that's good. I feel like we covered a lot.
I feel like there was probably more topics we could have hit with, like, growing up Hispanic, but we'd probably just do, like, maybe another one.
I feel like topics kind of, like, branch out as we speak, so I bet, like, that's not the last time we're hitting that topic. Like, even next, like, whatever we end up titling the next video, like, I bet that topic is gonna be hit again. Like, just growing up. Because there's just so much, like, that goes into that. That, like, you just can't think of off the top of your head. Where's Nico?
You should put him right here, like,
He'd be like,
yeah.
Anyway, I think we're just gonna end it off here because that's a lot of blab.
Yeah.
That's a lot of yapping for
How
today.
long did we even talk?
I think it's over an hour. Because, we had a video before it. Yeah. So we had that before. I'm not sure. But thank you guys for joining us for our very first segment. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if you want to see more of these or if you guys related to anything, which I'm sure y'all did. Someone, at least someone had to relate to some of this. And I feel like it was so I think it's fun filming because it's we have these conversations with and without a camera, and some of these we've already talked about, so it's
I feel like there's a lot to talk about though.
Yeah, I know the book for conversation we had before.
Yeah,
the coins
the
and the
coins.
plastic bags and the Ziploc bags. Yeah, there's so much. Even right now, it's just so many topics that are running through my head, and there's just so much we can also put out there on social media. But yeah, definitely let us know if there's a specific topic that you guys want us to talk about. But I feel regardless, we can always expand into topics. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next pod. What should we name our podcast? What should we name the podcast?
Dude, my legs are
Asleep. Yeah, my legs fall asleep too.
I don't know. I don't know what a podcast would be called.
Me neither. Well, I guess I guess since it's already on my channel, we just can leave it. But I don't know.
We'll come up with something.
Yeah, we'll see how this grows. Maybe
Jadalty is a very creative.
name.
That's really good.
I bet a viewer came up with that though.
Huh?
A viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably
Yeah.
Well, I guess because they're actual I don't know if you guys know who we're talking about. We're talking about Natalie and Jacob.
Yeah.
If y'all know them. But what you call it? They already had Jadali, right? Is their couples channel? So then it's Jadalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually creative.
Good.
Yeah, my name can't do that. My name's too basic.
Juicy Lucy? That sounds weird. Juicy tea. Juicy Lucy tea.
No tea.
Dude, I need to stand up. Because my legs...
Okay, we're just going to end it off here because we're sleeping. Our legs are sleeping. But thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a great day. Bye.